Well, I think being here for 9 years and starting here as a 17-year-old and making some really good friends and playing some good football and then sort of leaving the club. And I really thought that I really owe this club, and I really think that I've got something to offer this club, and I just can't wait to sort of have the opportunity to have another crack at it.
So, is business?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely have got some unfinished business. I'm pretty focused player at the moment, and I've probably changed a lot in the 4 years since I haven't been here, and I'm just really excited about obviously getting another crack at it. Yeah, I'd like to thank the Fremantle Football Club. I think they've been fantastic to me, and all the coaches there, the support staff, the supporters, they welcome you there, and it was sad to leave the Fremantle Football Club. And what I take away from there is I think they really helped me change into another player, added some real versatility to my game. I think adding the defensive side of my game and still having the ability to go forward and play a variety of positions. I'd really like to thank the club for that. Yeah, I think my versatility will come into play, and hopefully I can sneak up forward and kick a few goals. And also I think I'm playing a range of forwards as well. I think I've played on some smalls in Lacra and Milne, and also played on some big boys as well. So no doubt I think the variety of roles I will play back here at the club, and really looking forward to that. Well, I think towards the latter part of my time there, the last 2 years, I think there's a few mistakes that I made and a few things that I probably would have regretted if I just didn't have that opportunity to come back to the club and really just do everything possible that I can do to help this club try to win another premiership. And how hard that's going to be, I know I have to break into a premiership side, and I know there's some great players, and I'm starting from outside the 22, and I have to work my way into that 22. So I'm under no illusions that it's a big task for me, and a task that I'm really looking forward to. Yeah, I think I was a late maturer, you could say. I'm just turned 30, and when I was 25, 26, I don't think I'd fully grown up and didn't really have the, probably the dedication of 100% put my football behind. But I think once something's taken away from you, which Collingwood were, the club was taken away from you, you really do sort of miss that. And to have the opportunity back here is, it's an amazing feeling. Yeah, it was difficult because, as I said before, they were fantastic to me, and they were really good in this trade period as well. I know it sort of went down to the wire, but I know that as I left on really good terms with Chris Bond and Halves and these guys, and they really sort of did well to just put me to the club of my choice, and I really thank them for that as well. It came down to a few things. It's no secret that my wife was pretty keen to return to Melbourne, and for her own reasons, and that's fair enough. But there's some other reasons as well. I have some business interests back here that I'm really keen to get stuck into, and which will really help my football as well. Having a really good setup outside football to really stick my teeth into, and so I'm looking forward to that as well. Yeah, I was injured there with a medial ligament and end up missing the finals campaign, which is quite upsetting. But my time, I spent a few weeks back here in Melbourne and spoke to a few people and realised it was time to move back and then to have the opportunity to play again in front of the Melbourne crowd. And I mean, it's hard work. I don't think everyone understands how hard it is for Fremantle and West Coast to travel every second week. It's a drain on your body, and those guys do a fantastic job. And so now to be able to settle down and play some home football in Melbourne would be really good. Yeah, I was up in Byron Bay with my wife, and we were up there, and we just watched it on TV. And obviously after the second one, I still have some really close friends here, and I was more rapt for those guys because I know a lot of those guys have been here for a fair amount of time, and they thoroughly deserve it. And I mean, I was very envious. I sat back and watched, and obviously you wish that was you in that position, and hopefully now I do have a chance to do that. Look, as I was saying before, a couple of guys I'm really close to, and ran past the idea of it and what they thought of it, and everyone's been really positive about the move back. And even my time over in Fremantle, I'll probably sign more Collingwood supporters stuff than Fremantle. And I think the supporters, I've always had a pretty good relationship, so I think that now I'm back, hopefully I can get into it. Look, it would have had some serious thought to it. It was once I knew Collingwood were interested, that's all I could think about. That's all all I really wanted to go, and I was so focused on getting here and so focused on actually really sort of trying to get here that I think the other stuff would have taken care of itself, I think. Yeah, definitely. That's one of the reasons why it was so hard to leave. With such an exciting list, and a really good coach has got him on a really good path. And unfortunately for me, it just worked out that way, and it is quite sad. And I got to get around to most of the guys. Thank them for all their support and stuff over the last 4 years, which is really good. And I'll let the club know reasonably early. I gave them enough time as well, out of respect, that it was time for me to come home, and they were appreciative of that as well. Well, obviously the game plan's slightly changed since I've been here, and it's a defensive game that hopefully I can sort of get hold of pretty early. They're an exciting team. I was back in 2002 when I played in a team that just likes to work for each other, and I think that's a very similar team, but just with a lot more class.
Oh, look, I think undoubtedly Chris Tarrant strengthens any club's list, including ours. Yeah, we did win the premiership, but our recruiting strategy is to attempt to improve all the time. For a club that has had a good year, obviously we're losing an extraordinarily high number of players. The turnover of our players will be not something you'd expect from a side that's won the premiership. So from a numbers point of view, we're very happy to add someone of Chris's experience. And from a pure, as I said before, purely and simply, Chris Tarrant strengthens the Collingwood Football Club's list, undoubtedly. No, we haven't recruited him exclusively as a defender, because I think he's shown, even though the majority of his best form with Fremantle has been as a key defender, that he's played on Stephen Milne, for example. He can play on smalls. He can play probably on the wing. He can play, and we've seen in the early part of his career what sort of a damaging forward he was, who could run most opponents into the ground. So I think what he brings to us is an enormous amount of versatility, and has shown that he can play at either end of the ground with great success.
Might cost me a few zeros, that number, but Paul Connor's my manager, has Benny Reid on his list, so I might shoot him a text. But no, he's probably achieved a lot more in it than I have with the premiership, so it's probably well and truly his. Yeah, to be honest, the first year or two was quite hard to watch a game, I think, because once you leave, it was really it's hard to explain. But then as time went on, I found it a lot easier to watch the games and started supporting my friends a lot more. I think everyone's under pressure when you play for Collingwood, aren't you? There's no player out there who's not under pressure, and that's generally through the AFL at the moment. It's a lot of scrutiny and a lot of pressure, but something I probably didn't handle well when I was a younger kid. I probably shunned away from the media a fair bit, and when I look back, it was probably the wrong thing to do.